My name is Claire and I'm Chair of Neatsted, Ersted and Barton Turf Community Heritage Group, which was formed in 2013. Our first project, entitled Living Through World War I in 3 Norfolk Broadland villages, was to commemorate the centenary of World War I and included researching all the men from our 3 villages who had served at that time. We discovered this to be a major and long-term undertaking. However, it proved very successful and resulted in a comprehensive archive of detailed material. We presented our findings to our village communities through exhibitions, presentations and dramas. We had discovered that 136 village men had joined up to fight in the conflict. 32 of them paid the ultimate sacrifice, and all of them are now remembered on a specially created memorial in the new Victory Hall in Neatsted. In order to bring the World War I history of the villages to life, 2 original plays and a song were written, which were staged in collaboration with our local drama group in the new Victory Hall. At the outbreak of World War I in 1914, there was an overwhelming nationalistic pride and fierce patriotism towards empire and country, particularly amongst young men. This immense wave of youthful enthusiasm was fueled by quite aggressive and powerful state propaganda, particularly through the publication and countrywide distribution of patriotic posters urging men to join up and fight. Young rural farm workers who were engaged daily in hard manual labour for very little pay saw this call to war as an exciting and even romantic adventure and a fully paid opportunity to see the world. At first, they were exempt from war service because of their vital farm work. But as the war in Europe advanced, and with such catastrophic loss of life, more and more recruits were needed, and our village men were quick to answer the call. Any romantic notion soon evaporated and came crashing down once young men met the reality of life in the trenches and the stench of death. Our own men no doubt longed for the safe peace and tranquility of their rural villages, nestled within the quiet sanctity of the Norfolk Broads. The story behind our 2 dramas was inspired by a local man who had served in the war. He survived and returned home to Norfolk, albeit seriously disabled, having lost an arm in the fighting. He was John Horace Pestle, known around the villages as Jack. John Horace Pestle was born to Mother Louisa and Father Horace in 1880 in a red brick country cottage close to the riverside in the sleepy Norfolk village of Ersted. He had 2 sisters, Hannah and Ethel. They were a typical agricultural working family of the time, poor and living a simple country life. Young Horace would become better known locally as Jack Pestle. The family eked out a meagre living on the land surrounding the cottage. Today we would call it a small holding. They kept a couple of cows and grew vegetables. As Jack approached adulthood, he supplemented the family income by working as an agricultural labourer employed by local farmers. By 1904, Jack had met and married a local girl, Beatrice Hudson. They would go on to have 4 surviving children, Mabel, Gladys, Sydney and Elsie. They set up home in the cottage adjoining Jack's parents' house in Ersted. As World War I cast its shadow across the country, Jack was exempt from war service because of his vital agricultural work. But by 1916, the call went out for more men to join the fray overseas. At age 36, Jack put his name forward and enlisted in the Royal Garrison Artillery, and very soon he found himself embroiled in the fighting and trench warfare in France. During the horrors of battle in 1918, Jack sustained a serious gunshot wound. The exact circumstances are unclear, but records show that Jack was transferred to a hospital in Boulogne, where tragically his right arm was amputated. Jack was sent home, back to his young family in Ersted. As an amputee, his means of earning a living had virtually been taken from him. Times were exceptionally hard, and with just a small army pension to live on, the family struggled. Jack took on casual work wherever he could. It had to be manageable with his disability. One such job was as a cattle drover, when he would walk with livestock on the 10-mile journey to auction in Norwich. He would also buy and collect rabbit skins around the villages, which he would sell on for a small profit. The family's situation deteriorated, and when his wife Beatrice became seriously ill, Jack could not cope. In 1922, in desperation, he sought the help of the parish. The 2 youngest children and Beatrice were taken into the care of the workhouse. Even though his income was meagre, Jack still had to pay for his family's support. After only 6 weeks, Jack brought his children back to the family home, leaving Beatrice in the hospital, where sadly she passed away at aged only 41. Jack brought up his family alone. He was a proud old soldier, and his children would grow to care for him and look after him into his old age. He was a familiar sight and popular character around his home villages. He would make his way around the lanes on his large tricycle. Jack Pestle died in 1961, aged 81. Our dramas were based around the fictional story of 2 local sweethearts, Betty and Davy. They were engaged and ready to marry when Davy and his friend Roger went off to war. The following is a recording of an early experimental run-through of a section of script. Davy is dead on the battlefield, and his spirit is writing home to his betrothed. Betty, in return, is writing one of her many letters back to him. She naively reports on the trivia of home life and on the mundane aspects of their impending wedding, while at the same moment Davy is being slaughtered in the blood and gore of the trenches in France.
Right, fix bayonets! Fix bayonets! I can fix bayonets, lads! Hold your bloody self together!
I'm shaking, Betty. Really scared, really frightened. Roger is with me, we're together, we're ready to go. I'm thinking of you and my mother. I don't want to feel this scared. I'll be brave for you. Come on, come on, come on, what are we waiting for?
Hello, my darling Davy. It's a beautiful day here out on the meadow, just the kind of day you like. I'm looking across the Broad. There's a wherry just pulling into the stake. Dad's out there somewhere, but I can't see his boat. What a lovely day. The papers are all saying that you are winning the war, Davy. So I think you'll be home for the harvest. Hurry home, Davy. Please hurry home. I'm really missing you. Really missing you.
It's something you think about all of the time over here, Betty. You wonder what it's like to die. You see so many of the lads dying, wondering if it hurts, how it must feel.
My mother got all the washing hung out to dry this morning, Davy, and the heavens opened, and there was a terrible rainstorm. We had to rush out to get the washing in, and it was soaked. Oh, how she cursed.
It didn't hurt, Betty. Dying didn't hurt. I didn't feel a thing.
Davy, I helped the Major's brother take Prince down to the blacksmith's in Neatishead this morning to get new shoes. You know the fuss he usually makes. But this time he really behaved himself. You would have been so proud of him, Davy. I think he knows that you'll be soon home for him.
It didn't hurt at all, Betty. Please don't worry about me. Dying didn't hurt. The whistles went, over we went. I couldn't hear a thing, just the noise of my own heart thumping. I just ran and ran. I was shooting my rifle. I don't know what I was shooting at. I just kept shooting at the mist and darkness in front of me. And I just kept running and shooting.
Your food parcel's on the way, Davy. We put some of your favourite ginger biscuits. Your dear mother was going to put some scones in, but she thought they wouldn't last the journey.
Roger was running with me, right there by my side, just like we used to run together when we were kids. I could see the yellow flashing flames of the German guns as we ran towards them. My legs were like jelly, but I kept running. I just wanted to stop and lie flat, but I kept going. Oh God, I saw the sergeant shot in front of me, Betty. He just fell like a rag doll. I jumped over him and I didn't even look at him. I was too scared to stop.
Davy, my Aunt Ruth says she has some spare curtains that we can have for the cottage. She says she has some green ones or some red ones. So what colour would you like, Davy? You decide.
So many lads were falling, all shot. They didn't stand a chance. Me and Roger, we just kept running and firing. Then I had no ammunition left. So I thought, well, I've just got my bayonet. I kept charging forward.
Isn't it kind of Aunt Ruth, Davy, to give us those curtains? She's already promised you a couple of chickens for the garden. You'll have to say thank you to her when you get home.
Then they shot Roger. They shot Roger, Betty. 1 minute we were running side by side, just like we did at school, and then they shot him. I heard the bullet thump into him. He seemed to trip, and down he went, and he shouted out. He shouted out, and there was smoke coming from his chest and blood all over. He was covered in blood, Betty.
My mother said we can have some knives and forks and cups and saucers. She said they've got those spare ones from after my grandmother died. We'll have to get some tables and chairs from somewhere. Davy, my dad said he'll help you to make a table. Have you decided whether you'll wear your uniform for the wedding, Davy? I think you should.
I sat down with him, Betty, right there in the middle of the battle. I just sat down. I couldn't just leave him. I laid his head across my knees. His blood was all over me. He was crying for his mother, Betty, and I was scared. I didn't know what to do. Then his head just dropped. He was dead. Roger was dead. I couldn't leave him. I couldn't think of what to do. I was crying and looking at him and his still face.
Did your gloves and scarf arrive safely, Davy? Your mother wondered if you would be allowed to wear those brown gloves. She didn't want you getting into trouble from that sergeant for having the wrong colour.
I stood up. I heard it coming, Betty. I heard the bullets whizzing noise, and then it hit me. I was shot. But I didn't feel a thing. It didn't hurt. It was just like sleeping. There was buzzing in my ears. Then it went dark as dark, and the noise stopped. The guns and the bombs all stopped. I wasn't scared anymore, and Roger was smiling at me. That's when I saw you, my darling. We were by the river again. We were holding hands on the daisy pasture. You were laughing and talking and...
Davy, I had a lovely dream last night. I know you laugh at me talking about dreams, but I dreamt that you were home and that we went for a walk by the river down by the daisy pasture. You told me to stop talking so much, Davy, just like you always do. I'm really looking forward to our long walks by the river when you come home. Oh, hurry home, Davy. Hurry home, my Davy. Now, Betty, my dear, the postman's here. Can you just come in a moment, my dear? He's brought me a telegram of all things. Who's sending me a telegram? Will you read it to me, my dear? Yes, I'm coming, Mrs. Patterson. I'm just finishing a letter to your Davy. I'm coming.
And then I saw Prince over by the plantation, and he saw me, Betty. He saw me and he came galloping towards me, his mane flying in the wind. And he was galloping towards me. It was like he was flying because he was so pleased to see me. And I was home, Betty. And Prince rubbed his soft nose into my hand. And I was home, Betty. I'd come home.
I'm not the man I used to be before I went to war. It changes men, this living hell, to see the things I saw. I saw friends fall around me, and I saw them breathe their last. I watched them die before my eyes, God knows I could be next. I watched them die before my eyes, God knows I could be next. My body may be broken, but my mind stays ever strong. I dream when this war's over, I'll be home where I belong. But if the good Lord calls me, and I die here for this cause, my heart will be in England, underneath those English stars. My heart will be in England, underneath those English stars. There's a green cloud drifting overhead, it's on its evil way. It's melting lungs and blinding eyes and taking lives away. And then we put men in the ground, their final resting place. Could man do this to fellow man? What a hell of a human race. Could man do this to fellow man? What a hell of a human race. Kingfisher fly down by the shoals, there by my church where the oak trees grow. My true love, she'll be waiting with everyone I know. We'll all be together when I come home. We'll all be together when I come home. If I join the glorious fallen here down in their muddy tombs, there'll be no stone to mark my grave, no place to lay your blues. But Beatrice, when you need me, I'll be where the wild geese fly. I'll be looking down upon you from the Erstead sapphire skies. I'll be looking down upon you from the Erstead sapphire skies. There's part of me will always be beside those golden fields, where seas of corn and barley wave in Norfolk's summer breeze. I'll be by every hedgerow and on every Erstead lane. Each poppy in the sun is me, my love will meet again. Each poppy in the sun is me, my love will meet again. Kingfisher fly down by the shoals, there by my little church where the oak trees grow. My true love, she'll be waiting with everyone I know. We'll all be together when I come home. We'll all be together when I come home. I dreamt one golden morning there was sunrise on the hill. A bugle sounded ceasefire and the world around was still. Friend and foe agreed that they would lay their weapons down, with bayonets, rifles, uniforms all scattered all around. With bayonets, rifles, uniforms all scattered all around. For now please pray, my Beatrice dear, that I'll be home once more, by glorious peaceful Alderfen, far from this cannon roar. One day when it's all over, all this madness here in France, we'll sit by gentle waters where the swallowtails will dance. We'll sit by gentle waters where the swallowtails will dance. Kingfisher fly down by the shoals, there by my little church where the oak trees grow. My true love, she'll be waiting with everyone I know. We'll all be together when I come home. We'll all be together when I come home. We'll all be together when I come home.
Richard Allard, Barton Turf. Walter Allard, Barton Turf. Frederick Bailey, Barton Turf. Robert Balls, Erstead. Derek Brown, Neatsted. Stanley Drake, Barton Turf. Frederick Dunton, Barton Turf. John Dunton, Barton Turf. Alfred Easton, Neatsted. William Easton, Neatsted. Alfred Fox, Neatsted. John Grimes, Neatsted. William Grimes, Neatsted. James Harper, Neatsted. George Hunt, Neatsted. Frederick Jolly, Neatsted. Fred Jones, Neatsted. Frederick London, Ersted. Samuel London, Ersted. John Newstead, Neatsted. Charles Plummer, Neatsted. Charles Popey, Neatsted. Thomas Preston, Barton Turf. Stuart Rose, Neatsted. Donald Salmons, Barton Turf. Ambrose Saul, Ersted. Alfred Tooley, Neatsted. Thomas Watts, Barton Turf. Charles Yaxley, Barton Turf. Horace Yaxley, Barton Turf. Roland Yaxley, Barton Turf. Arthur Youngs, Ersted. The impact of World War I deaths on country villages like ours was catastrophic. The loss of so many working men fundamentally altered the very social fabric of rural communities for years to come. At that time, our villages of Ersted, Neatsted and Barton Turf were small and socially connected, with almost everyone having relatives or friends in the other two communities. Consequently, almost every household in each of the three villages mourned the loss of a son, a father, a relative, or a friend. Our three villages lost 32 men who paid the ultimate sacrifice.